Also, ich will ja nichts behaupten, aber ich habe so ein bisschen so eine Ahnung, warum er keine Freundin hat.
Ich weiß gar nicht, was du meinst.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Are you familiar with someone who goes by the name Jimbo?
No, I don't think so. Who is that?
A friend of Ronan's.
No, as I told you, I didn't know Ronan to have any friends. I especially don't recall him mentioning anyone called Jimbo.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Hello and welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
Is that supposed to be a lion? I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base. Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next? Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
Warum würde ich mit... Oh...
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
Warum muss ein Taxidermist darauf hinweisen, dass er nur Tiere ausstopft?
Was denkst du, warum wohl?
Weil schon Leute mit Menschen angekommen sind. Aber ich meine, wie willst du da reagieren?
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty! This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts. Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are two of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Yes, fascinating. Moving on. Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Hart Leroy in charge.
I know what you mean. Leroy may be a champion of the common man, but Atwood's vision for the future is more important right now.
I couldn't agree more. Leroy wants to forsake all the technological advances of the last decade and take us back to the Dark Ages. Next thing you know, he'll be bringing slavery back.
I doubt he'd go to such extremes.
Perhaps we should drop the subject. I get a bit passionate when it comes to these sorts of things.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No, As I said, I didn't speak with him much or know much about him, but now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him, but the more I recall, the more I realize he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things. He was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help. So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
Thank you for your help.
I'm here to serve.
You again? What do you want?
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Poor horse. That fellow in the armor must have weighed a ton. Fancy. At least they provide their clients with some measure of privacy. Now I see why they call it riding the dragon. They're really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they? She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze. But will a caged bird sing? That is the true question.
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite. This is going to be worse than pulling teeth.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Le Spay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise. But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
Und wenn man davon ausgeht, dass er lügt, ist jeder Zeuge nutzlos.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend? Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now. So what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen, until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to it.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Speak for yourself.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
Prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is going to solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh! What? It's an important question! The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
Nein, das machen wir nicht.
This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it.
Sicher?
Wie bitte?
Sicher?
Ja, das machen... Okay, wir machen es nicht jetzt.
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions. This looks like the nicer of the two angels. What a racket! I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane.
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then... I'm not sure, actually.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
Mein Gott, der Typ ist ja vollkommen nutzlos.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I
Yes,
studied
richtig
music
wirklich,
at
ne?
the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I said a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, that sort of thing.
Was sagtest du?
Ich sagte nichts.
Doch, du hast auf das reagiert, was ich zuvor gesagt habe, aber da hatte ich, schlau wie ich bin, schon den Dialog weitergeklickt.
Gute Frage. Aber habe ich schon erwähnt, dass seine Frisur interessant ist? Nennen wir das mal so.
Ja. Ja. Naja,
Ich glaube, ich habe gesagt, dass er unglaublich nützlich ist. Das ist selbst so nützlich, das glaubst du gar nicht.
Der hat sich wahrscheinlich die Hälfte vom Gehirn, die er sich nicht mit dem Opium zerschossen hat, weggesoffen.
Und ich dachte, die Frisur hat's geklaut. In Wahrheit ist die Frisur ein Alien, die sein Gehirn gefressen hat.
Und dann gestorben ist an der Alkoholvergiftung.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
Do you recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it, I'm in constant pain.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Eine professionelle Meinung, also beispielsweise einen Arzt. Und ich denke, Dr. Edwards ist ein sehr vertrauenswürdiger Arzt. Ich habe zumindest noch von keinem seiner Patienten Beschwerden gehört.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Edwards, do you know much about the effects of opium?
Quite a great deal, unfortunately. It's all the rage these days. Most people use it to calm the nerves or relieve pain, but it's highly addictive and has numerous adverse effects.
Such as?
It depends, really. Most common are sweating, nausea, memory loss, or blurred vision. But more serious cases can lead to hallucination, violent mood swings, coma, or even death. I just had a case in here a few weeks ago who died from an opium overdose. It wasn't pretty.
Doesn't sound like it. Thanks for the information, Edwards.
Anytime.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Oh? Who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Ich glaube aber. Achso.
I'm certain it's red.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
He has a beard, or mutton chops.
I see. Well, I'll put out the bulletin, but that's a bit of a generic description. All right. The bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks, Upton. I appreciate the help.
Du wolltest was sagen?
Hatte er nicht, war das nicht schwarz?
Sein Bart war
Anstatt
schwarz und
rot?
seine Haare waren rot.
Ach so.
Hat einer unserer Drogenabhängigen zumindest behauptet. Also, meh.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Nope.
I was given the physical description of a man, and I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on, then.
He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Did Ronan know anyone named Priscilla?
Priscilla? No, I never heard that name before. Who is she?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
I wonder if Ronan had finally met a young woman.
Oh, boy. Now you've done it.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, I'll make it quick.
Do you know anyone named Priscilla?
Ah, that's not a name Cormac knows.
Frankly, I'm surprised it's not the name of one of his tools.
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, aye. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
What was he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes. Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting. I'll let you return to your work.
Be mindful on your way out.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
You know that description I gave you earlier? Of the tall man in black?
Yeah, what about it?
I spoke with Cormac, and he told me he saw you speaking with someone fitting that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I'd say he's twice as reliable as you are. Now tell me the truth, or I'll have you in as an accomplice to murder.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it. I didn't ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, I did notice he had a scar on his left cheek. Kind of looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
Suppose that'll have to do. I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Warte, warum bin ich hierher gegangen? Ich wollte nicht hierher gehen.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Can I try giving you the...
Sure. Could you...
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Sag ich jetzt rot oder schwarz?
Das ist eine gute Frage.
Solltest du mir das nicht sagen können?
Ich guck noch mal, Moment. Hatten wir das bei dem Opiummann gekriegt?
Ja.
Hier steht nur, er beschreibt ihn.
Wow.
I believe it's black.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
I was told he was dressed all in black.
I see. Well, I'll put out the bulletin, but that's a bit of a generic description. All right, the bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks,
Warum kann
Upton.
ich das mit
I
der
appreciate the
Narbe
help.
in Form eines Hirtenstabes nicht sagen? Ich meine, das wäre doch wenigstens sinnvoll, aber... Ja, dann muss ich offensichtlich noch was anderes vorher machen.
Hast du das Foto von Ronen? Ja, kriegst du am Anfang, ne?
Ja.
So. Du hast Ronans Apartment, Cripsfarm, Taxidermy Shop und Police Station auf der Map.
Ja.
Okay. Hast du den Clue Small Gold Key?
Ja.
Dann müsstest du die Dokumente haben. Letter from Landlord 1 to Emily und Jimbo.
Ich habe Brief von Emily, Brief vom Vermieter 1 und 2 sowie Brief von Jimbo als Dokumente.
Okay. Und auf der Karte hast du The Crimson Cat, ne?
The was? The Crimson Cat?
Ja.
Nein.
Okay, Moment. Look at the bookcase in the close-up on the books, but the only one you can read is Secret Customs of the Orient. Hast du das gelesen gehabt? In Ronans Apartment.
Ja. Sonst
So,
wären wir
und
nicht
du
in die
müsstest das Journal geguckt haben und dann müsstest du bekommen haben Journal and read July 8. Entries for the previous and present years.
Ich weiß, was wir nicht gemacht haben.
Was? Das Journal lesen?
Den Eintrag vom 8. Juli lesen.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my coworkers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Ich habe nämlich das Datum bekommen und dann nicht nochmal